Hello, Mark. We're Larson here for the Dreamcatcher podcast. Thanks for joining us. Today, my guest is Austin Mcleroy. Like I said, I messed up on the name. Welcome, Austin. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good today. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well. So Austin, we haven't really known each other very well. We met, I don't know how many months ago at the Y in Hastings, Nebraska, and
hmm
you're down in Dallas, Texas for the summer, and that's where you grew up.
Yep. I've been here for as long as I can remember. I've been in East Texas with my grandparents, and I grew up in little spots through the DFW area. Sometimes in a place called Irving,
Yep.
sometimes in Bedford, and then I spent most of my time in Euless, which is just a part like 10 minutes away from Bedford.
Okay.
So,
So, um, so what do you do down there? I mean, we're going to talk about what you're doing this summer, but what do you do
mhm.
for entertainment? What's some of your favorite places to visit down there?
In Dallas,
Yeah.
I play volleyball as we briefly talked about when I was at the school. So I spend
Yep.
a lot of my time playing volleyball.
Okay.
There's a place called Rockwall Indoor Sports Exhibit or like something. It just we call it Rise,
Okay.
and that one there's volleyball from like 9 p.m. to like 3 a.m. and
Wow.
and we will play all night long. And then a lot of the times we'll go get food after, which is really cool, but it's not fun when I have to wake up for work at
No,
7 a.m. the next morning.
probably don't want to do that. And I could definitely understand that.
Mm,
So yeah, you were at Hastings College, right? And you were playing
mhm.
volleyball. So I have to ask, when did volleyball become something you enjoyed?
I saw volleyball, like, I've always known about volleyball. I mean, I
Okay.
grew up an only child until I got 2 sisters a little bit later.
Okay.
But volleyball is something I've always been aware of. In big Texas schools, it's very talked about in the girls' space. It's up there with basketball. Like it's very everybody knows each other.
Okay.
I went and played sand a few times. I've been in choir for as long as I can remember, like 8 years, I think, at this point.
Okay.
And a few of my friends would go play volleyball, and then that turned into me really enjoying it, which is about the middle of my junior year. So I
Okay.
started kinda late compared to a lot of other people who play in college,
Okay.
but, I mean, I was tall, so I made a club team just because I was tall. I mean, there's no other nice
Okay.
way to say that.
Okay.
Um,
Hastings College up in Hastings, Nebraska. How did you go from where you're at in Texas to Hastings, Nebraska?
mm, so I transferred from a school in Kansas called
Oh, did you?
Central Christian College of Kansas.
Okay.
It was very small, 400 people,
Oh,
maybe,
wow.
and that's the entire school, freshmen through seniors, everybody. And
Wow. That is small.
I was like, that was not the best experience. Like, I loved the people there, I loved my teammates. Overall, it was good. Like, but I just knew that that wasn't really how I wanted to be. And like, volleyball at the time was up in the air
Okay.
because I had seen how good some volleyball players are, and I was like, there's no way I can compete. But then
Okay.
I got the opportunity through my old coach, at Central Christian. He reached out to the head coach of Hastings. He didn't reach out, but
Ah.
they met at nationals.
Oh,
And
really?
then he
Okay.
reached out. Yeah, he reached out to me. We talked. I went on my visit. I loved Hastings, honestly. I thought everything was
That's a nice
pretty,
town.
big town. Because my other school, the town maybe had 5,000 people. That was the
Pretty
whole
small then.
town.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a big change coming from Dallas.
That would. Huge change. So did you I mean, even Hastings would be small compared to Dallas. Do you like the smaller town? I mean, Hastings is awesome, but do you like the smaller town vibe?
I do actually. I think about that where I play volleyball sometimes in Dallas. It's about 30 minutes about northwest, and
Okay.
it's a spot called Justin. It's not massive, but it's by a place called Denton, which is much more
Oh,
known.
I know Denton. Yep.
Yeah, Denton, and they have this area that I really like. It's just rural enough where it's like there's not a lot of people condensed into an area, but they have enough stuff to keep people entertained.
Gotcha.
And that's my
Okay.
big thing because I don't like, the idea of New York way too much. The
I'm
idea
with you
of
on
big
that.
cities like Miami and, like, living inside of, like, Dallas, like,
Yep.
the big city Dallas, that sounds I'm not gonna lie, that does not sound fun. That is not something for me.
No, I'm kinda again, when I lived down there, I was down Mesquite, and Mesquite is very much
Yeah,
very much
mm,
cowboy, kinda Western,
I
and,
like
hey, Mesquite I was right Mesquite, Dallas line, and I like Mesquite. So,
it's a
but
good area.
it is. So, so what year are you in college then?
I'm going to be a senior this year, so I'm in
Oh,
my final year.
wow. So
Mhm.
what's next after that?
I am going to be getting my master's
Okay,
in, the job I'm working right now. It's called registered behavior technician,
okay,
and it's a section of therapy called ABA, which stands for
okay,
Applied Behavioral Analysis.
okay.
So what I do now is I work one-on-one with autistic kids, and
Wow.
I run programs with them. So I have somebody who is, called a BCBA.
Okay,
There's a lot of acronyms. I'm just gonna warn you, there's so
okay,
many.
okay,
There's a BCBA and then RBT, which is what I am, like, I'm down here.
okay.
I'll leave it at those 2, so we don't get too
Okay.
up in the air
Sounds
about
good.
that. The BCBA will make the plans. One of the kids I work with, he's nonverbal, and, he since he's nonverbal, we have to teach him sign language, and
Wow.
since it's like that, we have to learn the sign language and we have to get the resources, and our BCBAs are the ones who make the program, so it'll be like we're teaching him go when he wants to leave a room,
Okay.
or it's like if he wants a hug, he's a very physically affectionate kid, we have him
Oh,
go like this, which is the sign for
awesome.
hug.
Uh-huh.
So, it's a really big thing for the BCBAs, and they have their masters in ABA, which is the Applied Behavioral Analysis,
Okay.
which is what I plan on going into.
Very
Because
awesome.
I really, really love this field. This is one of those fields where I was like, I wasn't expecting to like it this much. Because
Mhm.
originally, I'm a sociology major with
Okay.
a psych minor,
Uh-huh.
and I wanted to go into social work.
Sure, okay.
And social work has because I wanted to be a clinical, social worker and work as a therapist for people,
Okay.
because mental health has always been a very, very big and very deep passion of mine, where I
Yes.
want to
Yes,
make
I hear
sure
you.
it is spread, like, awareness is out there.
Yes.
But ABA and working with the kids, and it touched something in my heart where I'm like, "This is something I want to help as many people in this field that I can."
Excellent. I mean, in mental illness, yes, there's such an issue in mental illness in this country. I mean, I've done a lot of podcast episodes with,
Mhm,
suicide, with mental illness, and we kind of just brush it under it's like we kind of brush it off, and it's
mhm,
with kids and adults. I've had a lot of ones with podcast episodes with kids, preteens, and then adults, getting out of the military, with depression and
mhm.
stuff. So, so would you wanna do what ABA, would you wanna do that
Mhm.
down in Dallas?
Yeah, I plan on staying here for a while. The really cool thing about this is that I can do this remote. So I can watch a session of my kid interacting with a family,
Oh,
and
wow.
then I'll be able to create plans from that. And I'll do check ins with parents. So it's like I could technically work for a place in Dallas, but I could live somewhere in like Colorado or
That sounds
Florida
good,
or
that sounds
something
like a
like that.
win-win.
Yeah. And I really like, and I think it's just cool to be able to travel because there's so many places to go, and working
Yes,
remote
yes,
allows you to be able to see a lot of those places.
yes. Yeah, nothing like traveling, it's the best education there is. So, have you traveled a lot?
Not as much as I want it to. Like, I
Okay.
used to do, like, maybe a yearly trip with my grandma,
Okay, that's
but,
cool.
yeah, we would go to, like I remember our big 3 that we went to Florida, but I was playing volleyball, so that was for a tournament, so that one was kind of a trip, kinda not.
Sure.
We ended up staying a couple extra days so we could stay and see Florida. And then we went to
Nice.
Tennessee, which was a complete trip, which was really fun. We stayed at a place called Pigeon Forge.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
very interesting area. And
Okay.
then we went to Colorado, and I loved Colorado. I love
Yeah, Colorado's
mountains.
pretty awesome.
I love Colorado a lot.
So, do you ski?
No, we went during the summer, and
Summer's good too.
I'm not the most used to snow being from Texas.
True.
Like, we could get 2 inches of snow on the ground and everything shuts down. Like,
I can understand that. You're not geared up for that.
mm,
Do
I'm
you like
not
snow?
being I do like the snow for like 10 minutes, and then I'm done.
That's me too.
I
No,
think
no.
yeah, no.
I'm always glad when winter's over with. I mean, at least one thing where we're at, we get all of it, snow, blizzards, I mean, all that stuff, but,
Mhm.
the only good thing is we get a variety, that is for sure. Hail the size of grapefruit, but you gotta probably get big hail and stuff like that down there and tornadoes and everything else too.
We get hail, which is very interesting. We get hail and we get sleet and then we get ice. We don't get snow though. We don't get the fun powdery snow
Okay,
that we got in like when I was in Nebraska. Like we didn't get that. Like that was
okay.
cool. I really like that kind of snow. But then like once it sludges over, it gets nasty and then I'm not a fan of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm always I'm glad when winter's out with. I mean, I like the variety, but,
Mhm.
so, okay, with volleyball, would you wanna go any further than that? Could you become professional volleyball player if you wanted to?
I mean, every kid, every player, every athlete dreams of that.
Sure.
And like I want to get better and I do my training to get better,
Okay.
but it's like part of me is like and part of me wants to say it's realism. Part of me, it just also, I think it's doubt, because going at that next level, you see how different it is.
I bet.
Um, like I play in tournaments here in Texas where we play for fun and stuff. And
Okay.
there are people who are D1 and like high level and like ex pros and all that fun stuff. And you're like, oh, whoa, some people are way, way better than I am. So it's not like it's out of the picture, but like making a living off of it would be very hard. So getting
I
my
can see that.
master's is like kind of a non-negotiable.
Yeah, I can understand that. But you look like your team. I mean, what I've seen your team, look like you guys really, meshed together well. I mean, you look like you were a pretty good team or are a pretty good team.
We did all right for our first year. Our coach has
Okay.
really high standards, which is good, which we all have high standards. Being the first team in Nebraska is a really big honor. It's very surprising. Like,
Okay.
we're the first collegiate, team. Like, UNL has a club team, but
Okay.
they don't get scholarship, they don't get, funding from they get funding from the school, but they get most of theirs from fundraising.
I
We
did
get
not know
ours
that.
from school, and we get stuff like that. So it's
Okay.
really cool. We're the first scholarship based, would be a better way of saying it. And
Awesome.
then
That is
we're seeing the growth of volleyball, which is a really big thing, which is really nice.
so you said sand volleyball too?
Mhm. Sand and grass, those are my grass is, like, honestly my favorite. I love playing
Really?
grass a
Okay.
lot. I really love grass, but it goes grass, indoor, sand.
Okay.
Um,
Awesome. I've never seen grass when they played volleyball on grass. So do you like any other sports?
I like baseball is another big one. Like,
Okay.
I have my dad and me both really like baseball. We have, like, replicas of the Rangers World Series rings that he'd
Oh,
go and
wow,
get at
that's awesome.
games.
Wow. That's very
Yeah.
cool.
He has 3 of them, I don't know why he has so many, but he's we're both big baseball guys, and I also really like a sport called handball.
Okay. What
That's
is that?
it's so it's kinda weird to explain without, like, showing video,
Okay.
but it's basketball and soccer mixed into one. It's a very big European sport,
Okay. Interesting.
so I play with the Dallas team. I mean, it's not like a professional team or anything, but it's just like it's a group of people who enjoy the sport. 'Cause it's not a huge thing in America.
I've never heard of that. I'm gonna check that out after we get down here because I mean that
Mhm.
is so where do you I mean, is there a facility you play that at in Dallas?
Rec centers, there will
Okay.
be, there's one in Irving, which is about 15 minutes from me, and then on Wednesdays, apparently, we're gonna start having practices, 2 practices a week, which is really nice.
Nice.
So
No. So I always ask on the podcast here, Dreamcatcher podcast, when you were growing up, which you still are, what was a
mhm.
dream when you were a little kid?
I think my biggest dream was to play pro sports. I mean,
Okay.
I played baseball for 9 years.
Oh,
I wanted to play
wow.
pro baseball. Yeah, baseball was a really big thing, and then, burnout happens. I realized I wasn't playing it for me, I was playing it for my family,
Yeah.
which sucks in the moment where it's like, "Oh, this is bad," but it's good that I recognize that because
It was because some people don't, or if they do, they just
Mhm,
ignore it, and continue to
mhm.
do it because the family wants them to. So that is good in the long term. So okay, what does 5 years look like? I mean, what do you think you'll be doing in 5 years, 10 years?
Hopefully, I win the lottery. If I
Well,
win
there
the
you
lottery,
go. Do you play the lottery
it's
quite a
going
bit?
No, not as much as it's a gamble. When I'm in the store and if I see a ticket, I'll be like, "Yeah, I'll get one," but I'm not like
Okay,
every day I'm not that kind of person.
okay.
But, I plan on staying in ABA, getting my master's. By that point, I'll have my master's and I should be a licensed BCBA.
Okay.
So ideally, I'm either working remote, and traveling while working remote,
Yeah.
or if I'm able to play volleyball, I would love to still be playing professional volleyball overseas or
Cool.
coaching overseas, which I've seen happen, but most of the time they want people who've played professional. So I either way.
Well, I mean, it's something to shoot for. So where
Mhm.
at would you want to go overseas?
I think the place I've always wanted to play the most was Belgium. I don't know.
Oh,
Belgium
really?
seems
That's
like a
interesting.
very mhm. It's a very interesting spot for volleyball because their competition is really good, and I really like the idea of being able to live where the gym is. Because
Yeah.
I saw a video where the stadium is connected to a hotel,
That's
and I
interesting. Okay.
love the idea of being able to go practice whenever. Because 'cause I'm quite impulsive. I will
Okay.
just go practice. Like, that's why the 9 PM to 3 AM things were really fun
I
because
could see
I
that.
could go play all night.
Okay. So you're a night owl then?
Oh, yeah. I am not a morning person.
Not getting up
I
at 4?
get up for my job, that's it. Any other time, I'm not waking up before 9 at the
4-9, that sounds
earliest
like
I
my
would
wife.
go.
Oh. So what time do you have to get up for your job?
It's a little different every day because
Oh,
I
does it?
work with different kids. So
Okay.
some kids will get there at 8, some kids will get there at 8:30, one kid gets there at 9.
Okay.
Today, I
Okay.
got there at 8:20, which means I woke up at 7:30.
Okay. That's pretty
So,
early. That's
yeah, not not the best.
that's not bad. I mean, I think that's all right. So what are some other things you would like to do? I mean, if you won the lottery, what would you
Mhm.
do? You hadn't never had to worry about money ever again.
I think the biggest thing I would do is probably open my own ABA clinic,
Okay,
and
that's cool.
or I would do something with, like, a homeless shelter because
Awesome.
I am a big believer in things of, like, basic rights, and I think shelter is a basic right, and I
Agreed.
don't believe and I understand that people make mistakes and people can maybe put themselves into situations, but it's never my place to ask. If you're homeless and you need somewhere to stay, I've been very open to giving people the help that they need
Very
because you never
cool.
know someone's story.
You don't.
Because mm, with
Yeah.
like, I was talking to one of my friends and I was at church on Sunday,
Mhm.
and this guy was talking about strippers and prostitutes, and he was like,
Okay.
"How many of them do you meet actually planned on being that their whole life?"
Probably very few.
There's always context to why it led to that.
Yep.
And I'm a big believer of context doesn't matter. If somebody needs help, give them the help.
Amen. I love that. I always say that too because these people that are, prostitutes, all that, are homeless. They didn't when they were growing up. I doubt, or there are homeless kids too. Didn't think they were going to be that. They had hopes and dreams, more than likely.
Mhm,
And people, I don't know about Dallas, but I know San Diego. Last time I was there, they have a lot of homeless,
mhm,
and they look down on these people. And it's like you don't know what they went through to get to that point. Sometimes
mhm,
one misstep in this country, and you can be on the streets. And, rather than looking down on them, give them a hand up,
mhm,
and I love that you wanna do that because that's one of my things. It's just like all these people that had these dreams that can't do it because they don't have the wherewithal,
mhm,
and I'm for positive ripple, and if they had help getting off the streets or whatever their issue is, how much good they could do in the world going forward. So, amen on that. I'm so
mm.
glad you wanna do that, Austin. I mean, that is, um so do you speak in front of people? Do you like speaking in front of people, or have you done that?
I did FBLA while I was in
Did you
Kansas.
Okay.
Um, that's Future Business Leaders of America.
Mhm.
It's not a lot of people know what that is. I've learned that. Like one of my
Really?
friends, she's homeschooled and she had no idea what it was, so I had to explain it to her.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I did public speaking for that. I did the impromptu public speaking and job interview.
Wow.
Um, so I did fine. I did good enough to go to nationals.
Excellent. Uh, eh
Um, and then and then my school said they wouldn't pay for me to compete at nationals, so I was just like, "Ah, okay, guys."
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah, I was like because I was the only one at my school who qualified for it,
But
and that
still,
was,
they
like,
should have
willing
sent
to
you. I mean, you could have shown
yeah,
I mean, that's too bad.
yeah,
But,
it's okay,
so
I
I
didn't
I
question
would
it.
guess you wouldn't I mean, that's awesome. You don't mind speaking in front of people. I mean, so, would you ever wanna be a speaker then? A professional speaker?
Honestly, I would. That is something I never called it a dream, but I definitely called that something I would really, really enjoy doing.
Okay,
Like, I'm very passionate about a lot of things, and while I would love to be a politician and, like, get
cool.
into that field,
Uh-huh.
I am very indecisive about what party I would be able to fall into because
Okay.
I'm very independent with my beliefs. I'm very
Me
in
too.
the middle with a lot of things.
Yep, that's definitely me.
I don't believe that everything should be so black and white. Like,
Mhm. 'Cause
I I feel bad for people who have spent their whole life believing that they can only believe this because that's how they
yeah,
were raised.
yep.
So, I
No,
think with
I
politics, it's one of those things we have to open up.
we do, and that's why I am registered as an independent
Mhm.
because, I can see both sides of it. So would you let's see, Governor of Texas first?
Mm. Nah,
No?
I'd be okay being, like, maybe, like, a little bit below him. Like,
Okay.
I would like to run for governor, that would be a really cool job, but
Yeah,
like, with the state right now and, like, how everything is, it's like we're seeing a lot of change, which is very interesting. We've been very Republican for a
really?
very long time, but we're starting to see a considerable change to the Democratic Party.
Interesting,
Um, but we're one of those states where it's like our big cities are very blue, everybody else is red. So
interesting,
they the votes add up, but maybe not this election cycle or the next, but maybe the next election cycle. I wouldn't be too surprised if Texas flipped, which
wow,
is not bad. Like, I don't think that, but
surprising.
I'm not a huge fan of how the systems are. But
Me either.
yeah, it's too one or the other, and I don't
Okay,
believe in that. I think we should view politics like this is a weird way of phrasing it, like a spectrum.
okay,
Like, so it's like, you don't have to be here. You don't have to be here. You can be like, you're here, and then you're, like, right there, or
amen.
you're done.
I
So,
can't
it's
wait for
stuff
you to
like
be in politics. You got your work cut out for you, though.
uh,
Oh, wow. Would you ever want to be president of the United States?
um,
Could you
I
see
don't
yourself doing that?
know. I could see it, but I'm one of those people where I don't know if I could run and, like, do the tactics I'd probably need to, because I'm very anti fear-mongering. I don't like the idea of having to tear your opponents down, because
Yes,
at the end of the
yes.
day, that's still another human. I'm not gonna
Yep.
say that my opponent is a bigot who hates everybody
Yeah.
because he supports this belief. Well, maybe something happened why he supports said belief.
Yes.
I don't think I would be able to back myself not back myself, but I wouldn't be able to try to tear down my opponent
I understand what you're
because
saying. Yeah.
I view our parties now and, like, how they talk to each other, and, like, we have one person saying, "Oh, you're stupid," and the other person goes, "No, you're stupid." Like, that's literally high school.
And I hope very
Like,
much.
that's
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
like, I remember seeing old videos of Obama when he was running and then his other people, and I can't remember who he ran against the first time because that was the year I was born, but that was before I was born because I was born in
Okay.
December.
Okay.
I might have been born, but I was still really young when, oh wait, Obama didn't run in '04. That's wrong. '08. I was really young when Obama ran the first time,
Okay.
and I
Okay.
remember I saw a clip the other day where this lady was, like, really mad, and she was like, "He's not the right choice," and she was ranting to the guy who he had, Obama had beat, and he's like, "Well, he's still a red-blooded American. He still cares about this country. We just happen
Right.
to disagree on a few things."
Right. Right.
And I was like, "Why is that still not the belief?" Like, I get it. Um,
Yep.
People have things to believe in, so a lot of it is to fit into a group, which
Yeah.
is really disappointing, which I think that's something I would try to tackle
Yep.
as a politician is that politics shouldn't be a popularity contest. This shouldn't be
Amen.
a click to give
Yeah.
you meaning. The
Mhm.
reason you should pick somebody for politics is because you think he's going to help the people overall.
Exactly.
And we
Yes.
have so much right now where people will just blindly follow their party.
Yep. Yep.
And I understand you're raised in that party or you get a reason to join the other party. You want to believe so deeply, so badly that this party will do the best for you.
Yep.
But you sometimes have to take off those glasses and just be like, is this truly what's going on?
You do. You have to be your own person. You have to,
Mhm,
be able to step away from the party or whatever, you have to stick with your views and what you truly
mhm,
believe. For otherwise, I think you become a person that has no impact. You become kind of, mediocre. And I have no doubt that you would not be that way. You would stand up for what you believe.
mhm,
Um, I think that is so cool. I mean, so okay, so I'm talking to a future politician here. I don't know if I even want to call you a politician, change maker, positive change maker. So I like that better because I politician. I don't know. I don't like the connotation. So
yeah.
I mean, so would you ever? I just had a vision of you starting your own like foundation or something like
Mhm.
that. Would you ever want to do that?
Yeah, I would, absolutely. There's a lot of things I think needs work on in this country.
Yes,
I do love America, though, don't get me wrong. I'm
I hear
not
you.
a person who's gonna stand here and say, "I hate it." I'm not like that at all. I
Okay.
believe this country has done great things and has done great things for people and has helped countless people get to places of success, but just as much as we've done right, we've done wrong.
Yes.
So, I am a big believer in social welfare programs because I
Okay.
am a sociology major. I used to not think that I used to think everything was exactly fair from day one, everybody's got it the same. But when you live life and you meet people and you
Yeah.
grow up,
Yep.
you're like, "That's not true."
Yep.
You don't know if the reason the guy who's doing construction on the side of the road was put there because his dad left when he was a kid and he had to work as soon as he turned
Exactly.
18 or maybe even
Yes.
when he turned 14.
Yes.
You don't know how much people go through. And I
No,
think
you
that
don't.
helping people has always been my biggest passion. It's like even if I wasn't working in this ABA field or in therapy, I could not see myself working in like an office job, working for a bank or working
I can't
in
see you doing that either.
I couldn't. I would probably be working as like maybe a direct support professional for elderly or
Mhm.
working in a homeless shelter or working in places where I can help people who need help as well.
Amen. So, Austin, have you ever thought about having your own podcast? I could see you having, even if it was like once a month or something, I could see you doing your own podcast. For one thing, podcast is basically just a conversation. And I mean, you have so much to offer. And I love your views. And did not have your views at your age. I
Mhm.
commend you for having those at your age. Um, I don't think some people ever get to those views. I think they get stuck. And, are your sisters kind of the same kind of views as you?
They're much more liberal.
Okay, okay,
My youngest sister, she takes after me a little bit more,
okay.
so she maybe would be like the same beliefs I have, but my middle sister, nah, she's extremely liberal. She's one of those people who will like fight you tooth and nail
Hmm,
and just say that you're wrong because Trump said something. Like, and I
wow.
don't inherently support Trump. It
Mhm.
just Um, but she would argue like, he could say something
Right,
factual,
right.
and she'd be like, "No, just because Trump said it."
Oh,
He
wow.
could say 2 plus 2 is 4, and she'd be like, "No, 2 plus 2 is 5." She's one of those kinds of people, and
That's
that's the
you bet it.
opposite side of the extreme that I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I think there's too much of that anyway in this country,
mhm,
the infighting and everything else and, well, just fighting in general, and I think that's
mhm,
why we have the country we have right now, you know, and we're all Americans. We're all people. And like you were talking,
mhm.
we all have backstories of how people got to where they are right now. And that's why I think you would be great bringing that forward if you had a podcast or speaking or do you like to write?
Writing is up in the air. My grammar is not the best, so I would take a lot of time to write something easy.
Okay.
But I do enjoy writing. I just
Okay.
sometimes I gloss over it. Like, I have dyslexia, so
Oh, okay.
sometimes my writing and my
I
reading can be slower,
okay.
but that's why I've always been really good with speaking because it's able to just flow more
I hear
naturally.
you.
I don't know. I don't have to like write it down and have stuff like one of my friends will be texting and she'll go, "Do you purposely just avoid punctuations?" I was like, "I just don't think about it sometimes." So I
Yeah,
don't
I
know if
mean,
writing would be in the cards. But speaking, I would love to be a public speaker, honestly.
and I very much could see that. I could definitely see you. I mean, with getting into politics or whatever.
Mhm.
It wouldn't even have to be. I just see you making positive changes, even if you're advisor to other people making decisions, and eventually you getting. I mean, I could see you as president. Um, I mean, that would be. Let's see. I mean, that would be. I mean, I couldn't see myself as president. That would be well. Um,
Mhm.
I mean, I just that my mindset doesn't go that way. It's just like, why would anybody want to listen to me? But then I do a podcast, and I think, why do people want to
Mhm.
listen to me on that? But so you still there, Austin?
Sorry, did it glitch out? My
No,
mom
you're
texted
fine.
me. I
Here we
was
go.
responding. She was asking me about dinner and stuff because
Okay.
yeah, I didn't know what she was trying to do. I told her I was doing this, so I was
Okay.
trying to just
Okay.
keep
That's
her
cool.
off. Sorry about that.
No, that is cool. But I mean, how do you? I mean, I, why shouldn't I be president over anybody else? But I mean, you see yourself as potentially doing it,
Mhm.
and I've come a long ways from the very first episode to coming up on 400. It's a journey, but so masters. Would you go any further? Would you get your doctorate? Would you go?
Probably not. If I stuck with ABA, I mean, there's no point in getting a doctorate.
Okay.
It doesn't really give you any more, um, it doesn't give you any more power,
Okay.
I would say. Like, it wouldn't immediately put you in a better position. There'd be no real reason. I mean,
Okay.
if enjoying the study, if you want to keep studying and you get your doctorate, go for it.
Right.
I've never
Right.
been like, but for me personally, I don't think I would.
Okay.
But if I
Okay.
were to switch my major back to not major, but if I were to decide to do something like psychiatry or like
Hmm.
psychology, I would
Okay.
probably get my doctorate so I could
Okay.
work as a psychiatrist.
Okay. So do you
Sorry, she
like to, I
texted.
mean, we talk you like to speak. Do you sing?
I do, but I don't know if I could be a singer.
Okay.
I would love to be a singer, but I really do have stage fright when I'm by myself.
Really?
So
I
yeah,
wouldn't
a
guess
choir
that.
is a little different. Yeah, a choir is a little different. I think the reason I have that is just because I have a very high standard with my singing. So it's like
Okay.
I hold myself to a high standard. So if
Okay.
I make a mistake, I'd get really mad and I'd
I
harp on that mistake.
I can understand that. So you said you went to church. Are you in the church choir?
Mm, no, not in the one I went to. It was a non-denominational church. My friend
Okay.
recommended me. She her and her family go there and yeah, we just do that.
Cool.
She is out of state right now, so she's traveling.
Okay. Very
And, but yeah, I'm not in the church choir or anything. It's one of the more, um, what's the word? It's more modern, more pop almost.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So
My
it's
aunt,
like
uh,
2 singers. Yeah.
yeah, my aunt kind of has a church like that,
Mm,
which is cool. I'm very cool.
mhm.
So Austin, before we end the podcast, so if you came across somebody that was homeless, what would you do to help them?
I would just ask them what they need. I like, I'm very forward with it. When I was little, like, there's a funny story my mom tells people, and when I think it was 8 years old, I got, like, $25 for Christmas from, like,
Okay.
a family relative, and they gave me a 20 and a 5, and
Okay.
we passed a homeless guy, and I gave him the 20 because I
Oh,
was like,
Aust
$5 isn't gonna be enough,
very cool.
and my mom was like, "Well, Austin, how are you gonna buy anything?" Because we were on our way to a video game store,
Okay.
and I was like, "Well, I'll figure it out when I get there." I had $5 did not give me anything.
Yeah,
So, I was just like, I'll hold on to it if I want McDonald's or something
there
because I
you
was still
go.
young. I was
Yeah.
so focused on McDonald's.
I
But,
can understand that, especially at a younger age and everything, and but, I mean, what you did for that homeless person shows your heart. I mean, that shows your heart greatly. I mean, have you always been that way?
I think I have been. I think I had everybody hits the angsty teenager age where
Uh-huh.
you just rebel to rebel,
Yeah.
and it wasn't like my rebelling stopped that caring.
Okay.
I just thought it wasn't cool or thought it wasn't productive to show my caring, so I did get aggressive for a while. I got pretty conservative for a while, which
Okay.
isn't bad. Conservatives believe what you believe. You're your
Mhm.
own person.
Right.
But at that point, it made me not look at a lot of things the way I see them now. So it kinda put, like, a lens over me, and I was not a fan of having anybody tell me what to believe or how to believe it in that sense.
Sure, sure.
Like, with religion, I'm back on a journey towards believing in God. Like, I was an atheist for a really long time,
Really?
but now I'm taking the starting steps with my friends. I know on Thursday, I'm going to a youth group with some of my friends through volleyball.
Very
So
cool.
that's a little bit different. But in politics, I feel like there are some things that are just like you can't argue. They're indisputable. Like
True.
people are people at the end of the day.
Amen.
If an insurance company keeps somebody from getting life-saving treatment, that
Yeah.
should just be a crime. They shouldn't
Oh,
be
I
allowed to say
100%
that.
agree. Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's something we need to address in this country greatly. So,
mhm,
very, very much. So, my wife's had firsthand experience. Yeah, you think you have insurance, let me tell you, it doesn't make any difference. They got out of ways of paying for everything pretty much. So, but I'm not gonna go there, that's negative. It definitely needs to be
yeah.
addressed. So what is taking you back on the journey towards God, if I may ask?
I have been just slowly like it's hard for me. Like the idea of believing in God makes sense to me,
Okay.
but I didn't have the best experience with the church at
Yeah,
first.
I hear you.
And I was one of the people who suffered from mental health disorders. So that's one of the
Okay.
big reasons. It
Okay.
was a very big thing in my life. And I remember people in the church telling me that if I were to pass away from self-inflicted means, that I
Mhm.
would go to hell. I mean, that
Wow.
was just something I didn't need to hear. And I was like,
No, I 100% agree.
I didn't understand that.
Wow.
And I was like, well, then I'm just not going to believe in the God y'all say. But
Right,
then
right.
the more I look at it and the more I meet with people and the more I look at the world as a whole, it's like, it's so beautiful, just
It is.
everything. Like you see pictures of the cosmos and they look like eyes. I was like, I don't believe that's left up to random chance.
Nope, I don't either.
So I feel like the path towards God has been a very slow one,
Okay.
but I feel like it's one that's very meaningful
Yeah.
because having faith is the hardest thing for me
Okay.
because I am very logical with a lot of things. But I think that the journey towards God will be worth it when I'm able to finally be like, have the
I
full
agree.
faith, understand that it makes sense. Um, and the people around me, they've shown me that not all Christians or that this religion is this hateful,
Yeah.
like spite-filled religion that you see so much. And
Yes,
it is beautiful. Just like I think every religion is beautiful in its own sense and own
I
regard.
agree.
Um, but I feel Christianity, I mean, I grew up around it, so it's something
Mhm.
I'm very familiar with. And I
Yep.
remember seeing how beautiful it was.
Yeah.
Because I'll be sitting there in my room and I'll have moments where I was like, wow, this earth is gorgeous. And I'll
It
look at a
is.
tree and think that tree is alive
Yep, yep.
and it's stuff like that.
And it only gets more. The more when you start having that, the more you see. It's like, yeah, that is. How did I not see it to begin with?
Hmm.
So, yeah, and that's one thing. I don't call myself religious. I call myself spiritual because there's a
Hmm.
lot of people that are quote unquote, religious that really turn me away from all that greatly.
Hmm.
They do a lot of damage to all that. So, and you had mental issues? I would have never guessed that
Yep.
ever.
I struggled. Yeah, I struggled for a while, couple years. A lot of things happened at home, things happen. But I think
Yes,
that's
they
one of the
do.
reasons that empathy became such a big thing for me was
Yes.
that sometimes people in my life lacked the empathy that I needed,
Okay.
but when people showed me the empathy that I needed, it made me realize how important that truly was
Yes.
over the tough love,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, stereotype where it's like, "Oh, it'll make you tougher." I'm like, "If I'm not here tomorrow, how did that make me any tougher?" You
Yeah.
know? Empathy is one of
Yep.
those things that is about a building block. It's like,
Yep.
I take 3 things very important in life. I take my beliefs, my health and fitness, and the idea of mental health, but I guess those 2 can go together.
Yeah.
It's just
No.
because those are the 3 building blocks.
Yep. No, I think that's excellent. I mean, that is. I mean, did you go and work out today?
I went yesterday.
Did you? Okay. So do you go to Y there or do you go just a regular gym there?
I go to an actual I go to a regular gym up here, LA Fitness.
Okay.
We just don't have any big gyms like that over in Hastings. I mean,
No.
Grand Island, I think, has an Anytime Fitness
Yeah, I
and
think
a
so.
Genesis,
Yep. Yep.
but Genesis is not a thing here. That is a very
Okay.
Midwestern company, which is something I think is very interesting.
That is interesting. Okay. No, I'm glad we crossed paths at the Y in Hastings
Mhm.
there. So, very much. So, well, Austin, I'm going to end the podcast there. I mean,
Okay.
thank you for being on the podcast. And you're an amazing young man. I can't wait to see your journey going forward. And keep in touch. We need to definitely keep in touch. If
Yeah.
there's any way I can support you, I love doing collaborations
Okay.
because there is so much need out there. There are, between the homeless and the mental. I mean, there's
Right.
so much need that just is like with where they say get over it, and it's like they have no idea, what those people are going through, and or go get a job. When they say people on the street, it's like, you know, it's pretty tough when you're on the street. I'm not even gonna go there, but it is. How do you, after you're on the street, how do you get to the point where you can even get a job? You probably don't have a car. You
Mhm.
probably maybe not even eating. It's pretty tough to do a job. Um, but no, I commend you. I mean, and how old are you?
21. Yeah.
You are very mature for your age. I don't know if I'm even that mature now. You're awesome. And like I said, if there's any way I can support you, help you out, or whatever, and you're coming back to Hastings College again?
Yes, I will be back up in mid to late August.
Okay. Okay. So maybe I will see you in Hastings or the Y or something like that back after you get back there. So, but anyway, awesome. I mean, awesome, great, and great talking to you. You got me pumped. So,
Thank you.
and we'll leave it there and have a good rest of your day. And we'll be talking soon.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being on.